So this is the last section of the day, and I think this is a serious section. This is important because this is actual news of what's really happening. So this is as of like literally a few hours, 24 hours. Russia liberated Lisichank. And this is a big deal. Lisichank was the last battle needed to have the region pretty much liberated. Yeah. Right. And so with this, they basically have the Donbass region, right? And so the Donbass Republic is now fully under Moscow's control. According to the Russian defense minister, the whole territory of the Lugansk People's Republic has been wrested from Ukraine control, Moscow says, and the last remnants of Ukrainian forces were driven out of the Lugansk LPR. Russian Defense Ministry Sergei Shoigu announced this Sunday. He reported the news to Putin, and this is what the defense ministry said. And they seized Lisichank, which had remained under Ukrainian control since the 2014 coup, when the LPR, the Lugansk People's Republic, declared its independence. So Eva had this tweet. She said, all of the Lugansk People's Republic have now been fully liberated. The population who were treated as subhuman at best or imprisoned, starved, tortured, executed by Ukrainian forces and Nazis can now live freely and without enduring the hell of Ukrainian rule any longer. This started a long time ago. As you can see, this started over 8 years ago. And Pasta and I have been talking about it. People like Eva have been talking about it.
I do want to say something, Fem, that her statement's not 100% true, because as we've seen, the Ukrainian forces have gone back to doing what they did for the last 8 years in Luhansk and Donetsk, and that's bombing civilians, where we had civilians staying in their basement, eating pickled vegetables and stuff, and some kids growing up with sirens being sounded. That's the tactic they're going to continue to use now that they've been pushed out of these areas. So even though they've been liberated, they still have a long road ahead of militias like the Azov Battalion and people like them continuing to bomb civilians. That's not something that's not going to stop for quite some time. However, it's like Gonzalo Lira said, once they have this area secured, then they're going to just march all the way friggin' west, from the west into the east, and liberate the whole country. That's what we have to expect next, because I don't think that Putin's going to allow any type of government to be on his border like that that's going to do what they did last time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's not going to.
No way.
And so this account, Russians with Attitude, said, from the statement of the Lugansk People's Militia on the occasion of the capture of Lisichank, the safety of the LPR will be ensured if the Ukrainian army is pushed back from the borders of the republic to a distance of about 300 kilometers. So that's essentially what Plus said. Their whole goal is to push back the Ukrainian army and to continue pushing them back from being in their, in their area where they can start coming into Russia. Now, there's a series of videos that have been released on all channels on Telegram, basically, just showing the joy of the people when the Russians have come to liberate them, right? And I'm not going to show all the videos. I think we have 2 or so, because some of them are not in English. I think I have one that's not in English, but I can just read the text so you guys know what basically is being said. So this is from Dennis. The locals in Lisichansk sure seem to hold their occupiers in high esteem. Russian soldiers said, "We have arrived, it's over." The Ukrainian woman said, "Oh, thank God, we have been waiting for you to help get rid of the inhumans." The Ukrainian army. People, if you watch this video, people are extremely happy and joyous to see it, and you'll see it in the next one. So this is the locals in Lisichansk. We've waited for you since 2014. We've waited. They left. Thank God. You won't leave anymore, will you? This is what these people are saying to them, right? And I'm gonna read this next tweet, and Oz, you can just show the video while I read the tweet. Actually, let me pull it up here because I don't have a.
Who tweets did this, fam? Remember we did a little section. Who tweets did this?
Yeah, who tweets did this?
Who tweets did this?
You know what, Pasta? Can you click on the tweet and read it? Because it's not.
Which tweet?
The one that says slide
45. Liberated.
Okay. Oh yeah, I just read it. So if you just want to play it, Oz, the video, so people can see, like, just to see the emotional feeling that these people are feeling?
Какие ощущения?
Радость, конечно, наконец-то. Наконец-то мы вас дождались. Ждали вас еще с того года. Мы уезжали в Россию, но решили все равно вернуться.
7 месяцев пробыли.
Ждали.
Все, ушли уже.
Ушли.
Господи, вы не уйдете, вы будете с нами.
Okay, so you guys can see the emotion. I mean, no translation needed on that end. So the next one is actually dubbed in English, so you guys will be able to read it. And basically, this is it says the residents of Lisichank liberated from the Kiev regime meet the Russian military. This person who put the video out, or at least tweeted about it, said, I don't think it's superfluous to add English titles. Maybe someone in the West will hear the stories of real Ukrainians about the valiant fighters of the armed forces of Ukraine and not mainstream media. So I think it might be this is the same video, but it's dubbed. So you guys can see it now. You can see it with the dubbed.
Aslan, roll it.
Они сказали, мы каратели, мы не защитники.
Они нам в глаза говорили, мы каратели.
А вот детский сад, я смотрю, там занят, там штаб был или что там было?
Нет, они там переночевали, подпалили и ушли.
Молодцы какие.
Они ночь переночевали, подпалили и ушли.
И еще сказали, говорит, мы будем разбивать, и нам за это ничего не будет.
Вот они все равно рассказывают все время, что вот местные жители здесь, вот оккупационные российские войска. Для вас российские войска оккупационные?
Нет, вы освободители нас,
Освобождали.
Дети наши.
Блин. Юрцу привет, увидишь его?
Обязательно.
Нет, серьезно.
Обязательно.
Скажи, блин, а он здесь будет?
Какие ощущения?
Радость, конечно, наконец-то. Наконец-то мы вас дождались. Ждали вас еще с того года.
Хотя мы
уезжали в Россию, но решили все равно вернуться.
7 месяцев пробыли.
Ждали.
Все, ушли уже.
Ушли.
Господи, вы не уйдете, вы будете с нами.
Наши хлопцы пришли. Выходите.
Здравствуйте.
Здрасте. Видите, я вам привела. Господи, родные наши. Родные наши. Вот смотрите, у нас женщина.
Здравствуйте.
I put my phone down.
Я к вам подойду, вы не против?
Нет.
Здрасте.
Здравствуй, моя детка.
Здрасте.
Здравствуй, родненький. Спасибо вам.
Okay, so you guys can is that
Hold on, fam. We didn't hear you there because you were kind of cutting in and out. You there? You frozen? All right.
oh, my internet.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'm
So
here.
These people have been living under this.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. These people have been living under this type of threat since 2014. The United States didn't give a damn that these people had to go living in. They were used as a pawn in a game to make sure that there was an Afghan Vietnam style war on the border of Russia. That's why we did this. We didn't give a damn about these people. And that's something that people have to acknowledge, the fact that we did this. We have all the evidence that we did this. We have evidence that we went in there and took over the government with Victoria Noodleman and all this shit and Jeffrey Pyatt and all these people. This is disgusting what the United States did. And people like Blinken and all their other guys, Jake Sullivan, Lloyd Austin, they deserve to be held accountable and thrown in jail for war crimes for what they did. The harms and the disgustingness they threw on the people of Eastern Ukraine, it's a crime against humanity. It's a war crime, and they should be held accountable for what they did. This is some sad shit. I mean, I'm happy for some of these seeing these people, some of them get liberated, but they're gonna have to go through more of this, fam, for a while until this is all weeded out. Until it's gonna take, this operation's not gonna end at the end of it once they've liberated this region. They're gonna have to move all the way to the capital eventually and get rid of that government, that puppet government.
Yeah, but this is a good thing. This is a good thing for them right now. Especially there's a sense of hope, I think, in a lot of people. And you're right, like it's definitely going to take a lot more, but it is a good thing for a lot of these people. This is why they're so joyous. Just like we've seen people, you know, in Colombia, when they finally won, they were extremely joyous because they felt like they liberated from that government. It's the same type of sentiment where, okay, now we can breathe, we can move on. And just to show you real quick the footage of Lisichank after it was being liberated from the Ukrainian forces by the Russians. And this is according to the Ministry of Defense. You guys can see the video. You can just play it Oz while I talk.
550. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just play it, and it's basically just a video of no sound where you can see that the Lugansk People's Republic, the infrastructure, the social and residential infrastructure was largely not damaged. So you can see that it's not, as far as the infrastructure goes, it's actually not that bad, and they're going to be able to quickly rebuild from that. So yeah, I just wanted to show a little bit of that part in terms of what happened, because it's a big deal that this is happening. Like I said, it's the last part of the region of the Donbass that they really needed to control, and they have it. Yeah. So Joe Biden, of course, that we didn't get to cover this on Friday because it happened right after we went off the air. Joe Biden did announce that he was going to give $800 million more to Ukraine. But the Pentagon actually upped that to $820 million in military aid, and it's going to include new surface-to-air missile systems and counter-artillery radars to respond to Russia. This is what they're saying, right? And so let's go ahead and play the video, because Pasa had a good tweet about, I forgot to put it in there, about Biden. Yeah. He's not just saying it, he was boasting. He was boasting about what they're giving to Ukraine.
Ukraine with nearly $7 billion in security assistance since I took office. The next few days, we intend to announce more than $800 million more, including new advanced Western air defense systems for Ukraine, more artillery and ammunition, counter battery radars, additional ammunition for the HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems we've already given Ukraine, and more HIMARS coming from other countries as well.
They don't even give a shit, fam. It's like they brag about it. How long is this going to go on before we the people say enough is enough? You're starving at the pump over here. You're paying so much. There's about to be a tsunami of evictions, because all the protections from the COVID shit, when you shut the economy down and you close everybody and told everybody to go in their house, have now ended. So there's going to be a ton of that going on. BlackRock has bought up with Vanguard all the houses across America. Inflation is everywhere. I mean, I saw statistics about how much more it costs for this 4th of July, from everything from beef, plates, the whole 9 yards. It's ridiculous. And they are bragging and boasting about the fact that they're giving money to Ukraine because of Putin. And they're still sticking to it. They're still, I wish these people had fear of what, when I say these people, I'm talking about the leaders, everybody inside this Biden administration. I wish they had the fear of what the people would do to them once they called bullshit on all this fucking, this straight up heist of American dollars over here. That's not going to even go to really the Ukrainians. It's going to be going into who contractors' pockets. They're going to be washing this money, fam.
It's not even just the Biden administration. It's also the Republicans and neocons that are pushing for this war, because a lot of them are pushing for this war. Because America first, right? Like it's that same mentality. And by the way, Garland had this really good meme. You can see the washing machine, right? The washing machine.
What they're doing, baby.
And there it is. See, 10% for the big guy, 10% for the big guy. And I forgot to put in here too, they were finding suitcases of money in Ukraine. So all this money is going to all these oligarchs, these corrupt officials, or the defense industry, you know, this corporate pack that's invested in the defense industry. That's where this money is going to. It's not going to Ukrainians. You think Ukrainians are going to, these morons that are out there asking for donations for Ukraine, you think it's going to these Ukrainians, you dumbass? It's not going to them. It's not. It's going to very rich people already, or people that are in power, or these corrupt motherfuckers. That's who it's going to. Ugh, pardon my French, but that's exactly who it's going to. 100%. And
the big story of today is this.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, haven't been talking about this. Everybody was talking about, oh my God, the the Moscow building's on fire. That was due to a short circuit. It had nothing to do with anything. But everybody was like, Fiorella, what's going on here? I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with anything. It's just a short circuit situation. So anyway, so sorry, there's like a bug and it's like distracting me. So this thing that happened, nobody's talking about. There was last night at like 2 a.m. or this time, Moscow time, around that time and after, there was a civilian house that was hit by a Ukrainian missile in Belgorod, and the ASP military telegram channel was talking about it. And you guys can see that's what's left of this house right there, then the demolished house. It hit an actual house in Belgorod, and then you guys can see here this video of the house on fire. I'm not lying. This was hit by a Ukrainian missile. I believe it is an American missile, or at least a European missile. And so far, what's been reported is 3 people have died, but that's not final numbers. And let's just go ahead and play the video so you guys can see.
We played it.
Oh, you played it. Okay, sorry, mine's behind. And so what this means is basically, this is a big deal, because if I didn't say it already, this target was actually in Russia. It was in Russia. It wasn't in Ukraine. They hit a house, a civilian house in Russia. So they hit a civilian house in Russia, and that is a big deal, because Russia could then respond, right? Because that's what Ukraine wants. Ukraine wants Russia to just say, okay, you guys hit us, so we're going to respond. And they're not going to, I mean, they're smarter than that, but they're being poked and goaded into doing this. And so the Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokeswoman said these words.
Цель киевского режима – нанесение ударов неуправляемым оружием по жилым кварталам городов. Так происходит уже не первый раз. Мы понимаем, что эти действия режима в Киеве не просто согласованы с его западными кураторами, а, скорее всего, подсказаны ими. Делается это, конечно, для того, чтобы подтолкнуть нас к нанесению ответных ударов подобного рода, а потом еще больше раскрутить антироссийскую истерию. Мы до сих пор воздерживаемся от таких шагов, но будем очень внимательно следить за развитием ситуации. И тем, кто действует подобным образом, следует знать, что в случае продолжения провокаций им не поздоровится.
And that's what it is. I mean, they want Ukraine, they want Russia to strike back and say, okay, you guys did this, so we're going to do something. And then the media, which has been silent about this, by the way, they haven't talked about it at all in the West, will go and say, look what Russia's doing, or look how they're attacking these poor Ukrainians, but they won't talk about what happened before. So Russia is a lot more intelligent. They know that this is what they want. So they have to kind of think of, like, not just react, right? They have to kind of think of what they're going to do next. But this is a big deal. I think it's not the first time that it's happened, as she says, but it hardly gets any media attention. And they actually are attacking they are doing what they say Russia does. There's no weapons there for them to attack. Like, it's just a house. It's like a city with people, and it's on the outskirts of Russia, so that they can say, oh, we didn't mean to attack Russia. We meant blah, 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 whatever it is, right? And the Russian forces have been intercepting these missiles, because there would have been more, but they've been intercepting them. So that's the latest development on that. We'll definitely have more about that tomorrow if there's more developments.
Okay.